Imagine you are entering a battlefield, not with bullets or swords, but with minds, cunning, and guile. Today, we will open Machiavelli's book not as academics do, but as if it were a weapon in your hand. These are not lessons in morality, but rules for domination, survival, and prevailing over everyone. Whoever understands them becomes master of the situation. Whoever ignores them becomes a tool in another's hand. Now here are Machiavelli's 12 rules of power, as if he lived among us today. First, never show your weakness. In a world of struggle, weakness is not a fleeting moment, but a public announcement that invites others to attack you. Every wound you reveal to the eyes becomes a dagger in your enemy's hands. A person who speaks of his losses and fears is like one handing the keys of his fortress to his enemy. Machiavelli understood that human nature leans toward exploiting any gap, so never appear broken even if your heart is breaking inside. Learn to become an unyielding wall. Hide your emotions like iron conceals its fire. Do not allow your face to reveal what is happening within, because the moment you show fragility, no one will spare you. Society does not reward the weak. It crushes them. True strength is not the absence of pain, but the ability to hide and manage it. Be like the sea. However turbulent its depths, its surface remains calm, grand, and formidable. Whoever tries to be liked by exposing his weakness will reap only pity, and pity is the enemy of respect. Dignity is built when people see a man who does not break no matter how fierce the winds are. So bury your weakness inside you. Do not make it a bridge others can cross. Second, make silence the language of dignity. Words, however powerful, lose value when used excessively. Silence is an art and a tool of intimidation that only those who master self-control understand. Those who speak too much betray their intentions without realizing it. They open doors that could have remained closed. Those who retreat into silence leave others stumbling in conjecture. Silence is a cold but lethal weapon. When you sit among people and do not speak, their eyes start searching your features, trying to read your mind. The more they fail, the more they fear you. Herein lies dignity, to remain mysterious. If Machiavelli lived today, he would say, "Those who talk too much sell themselves cheaply." Words are like currency. The more you spend them without care, the less they are worth. So make sure your words are rare, measured, and sharp as a sword. Let your silence speak for you, sowing anxiety and commanding respect. Great men do not need to prove their strength by shouting. Their presence alone suffices. Third, create an aura around you. People do not see your inner truth. They see what you present. This is human nature and cannot be escaped. People judge appearances more than essence. Hence the importance of an aura. Make yourself a figure larger than a mere person. Let your appearance be a message, your gestures calculated, your smile rare, your steps confident. An aura is not just fine clothes or polished words. It is a whole system you build around your personality. When you enter a place, people should feel that something weighty has arrived. Their gazes turn to you, not because you force it, but because you arranged yourself to be the center of gravity. Every great figure in history had an aura, even if he started as an ordinary man. Napoleon was short, yet his aura made all of Europe tremble. Alexander was not merely a commander, but a symbol his soldiers followed to death. The secret is to plant in others' minds an image of you larger than the reality, an image that makes them fear you, even before they deal with you. Make your presence a force and yourself a riddle whose key they do not possess. Dignity is not always what you own, but what others think you own. Fourth, do not be an open book. Mystery is power. A person who confesses everything inside loses his dignity, just as a merchant loses capital when he distributes it freely. When others know every detail about you, they can predict your moves and control your decisions. When you hide your cards, you turn yourself into a mystery. And every mystery provokes fear before curiosity. Mystery is not a game, but strategy. Let people always wonder what you are thinking, what you intend to do, why you endured that moment, or smiled at another. Those questions create a presence larger than any spoken word. Machiavelli knew that truth, however powerful, loses its impact when exposed. Mystery multiplies your dignity, even if you actually possess little. A mysterious man appears to others as if he holds great secrets and unpredictable plans. Be the night. When light is gone, people imagine danger within. Leave an unknown space in your personality, a place no one can read, because humans fear what they do not understand more than what they know. Fifth, do not seek recognition. It is not requested, it is imposed. A man who chases recognition is like a beggar extending his hand for praise. It is the weakest position a man can be in. If you want respect, do not ask for it. Make your presence so weighty that no one can deny you. How? By achievement, by force, by the aura you plant in the eyes of those around you. If you sit in a room and must say, "I am important," know that you are not. Great men do not explain themselves. They force others to perceive their value. In Machiavellian terms, value is seized through strength and control, not through pleading. True recognition comes when people find your absence impossible to ignore. When you become indispensable, not because you demanded it, but because your presence has imposed itself on everything. The man who knows his worth does not need to shout to prove himself. It suffices that he stands, and others feel the weight. So do not seek recognition. Make yourself a necessity. Then recognition will come willingly, and people will fight to show that they recognized you first. Sixth, master your emotions. Emotion is the weakest point in any person's armor. Anger, sorrow, agitation. These are doors through which others enter to destroy you from within. Whoever masters himself holds the keys to controlling others. Anger, however it appears, is nothing but weakness, because it reveals you have lost control. A man who loses his temper easily can be manipulated more easily. Calm is the peak of dominance. To see provocation and be able to extinguish it inside you. This confounds your opponents more than your outburst would. Control yourself first before you think of controlling others, because the person who cannot command his feelings cannot lead anyone. Those who hold the reins of their emotions seem like masters of any situation. Look at great leaders. They were not the quickest to rage, but the heaviest in presence. They knew that a single decision in anger could destroy what had been built over years. So be the master of yourself. Make your emotions your servant, not your master. True control begins within. Seventh, make yourself a necessity, not an option. Being an option means being easily replaced. Being a necessity means your absence creates a gap that cannot be filled. A person who treats himself like an available commodity will be treated the same, replaced, forgotten, and discarded. But whoever makes himself central turns his presence into an indispensable foundation. Think about why people cannot dispense with water or air. They are not options, but life. Make yourself that way to others. In work, in relationships, in social circles. Make your absence catastrophic. Then your presence becomes sacred. How do you reach that stage? By excellence. Be the man who cannot be replaced, the one who accomplishes what others cannot. If you are at work, be the smartest, the most capable, the one who gets results others cannot. If in a relationship, make your presence carry emotional and spiritual weight so that any substitute seems pale. When you become necessary, you no longer chase others. They seek you. At that point, the balance of power shifts in your favor, and you become the center around which things revolve. Eighth, use fear before love. Love is a beautiful emotion, but it is fickle. It can turn to hate overnight and may fade over time. Fear, however, is more enduring. Fear gets forged in hearts like iron, hammered in fire and left to cool. It becomes solid and unbreakable. Machiavelli put it simply: if forced to choose between being loved or feared, choose to be feared, because fear ensures obedience, even when love is absent. A man who relies solely on love places himself at the mercy of others' moods. A man who inspires fear plants an internal restraint that prevents rebellion. But wisdom lies here. Fear is not blind cruelty. It is measured strength that others recognize. Make your personality a heavy presence that makes people think 1,000 times before opposing you. Love may attract people, but it will not always protect you. Fear is a shield that keeps you safe even when love evaporates. So use love as an ornament, but make fear your foundation. Ninth, do not reveal your intentions. True power is not only in what you do, but in what you conceal. If people know your intentions, they can foil or confront you. When you keep your plans in the dark, you move freely while they flounder. Half of power is secrecy, and the other half is mystery. Don't disclose your grand aims. Do not tell others what you are thinking or where you intend to go. Keep them always wondering what your next move will be. This confusion weakens them more than any direct attack. Ordinary people reveal their intentions because they seek reassurance or approval. A true leader knows that exposing intent risks betrayal. So only declare what you want others to see. Remember, even the greatest wars were won not only through force but through deception and camouflage. Whoever knows your intentions has half the victory before you begin. Whoever does not will remain puzzled until you strike. 10th, divide your enemies. Do not let them unite. The most dangerous thing is facing enemies united under one banner, because unity creates power greater than any single individual. Machiavelli advises, do not allow your opponents to speak with one voice. Sowing discord among them is often more effective than confronting them directly. How do you do this with cunning? Make them compete over influence, money, or your favor. Sow small intrigues that grow slowly until their energy is spent in internal conflict. While they are busy fighting each other, you remain the master watching from above, benefiting from their weakness and fragmentation. You do not need to wage bloody battles when you can make your enemy fight himself. History is full of examples. Empires were not always defeated by the mightiest armies, but by internal division. Whoever divides his enemies controls them, even without firing a single shot. 11th, strike when they do not expect it. Open threats keep opponents in a state of constant readiness, but the sudden blow is what creates awe and leaves an indelible mark. When you attack at an unexpected moment, you bewilder the enemy and plant a lasting fear of the unknown. They will not know when or how you will strike next. Such bewilderment alone is enough to keep them weak. The smart man does not brandish his sword for nothing. He hides it until the moment it pierces his opponent's heart without warning. That strike is not just physical, it builds the reputation that you are unpredictable. Reputation can sometimes be stronger than any army. Never be predictable. Never disclose your rhythm. Create the sudden surprise and let it precede you into the heart of your enemy. Then everyone will learn that merely thinking of facing you may bring ruin. 12th, make others depend on you. The strongest forms of control are not those imposed by force, but those that make others tie their lives to you. Those who depend on you for their livelihood, safety, reputation, or even morale will never dare betray you. Machiavelli knew that a slave bound by chains might try to break free, but one bound by dependence will not, because leaving you would mean destroying himself. Make yourself the primary source of what they cannot live without: money, protection, opportunities, or social acceptance. The more their interests are linked with you, the more they become servants of your will without realizing it. This is not immediate power, but a long-term strategic force. You do not command them with orders, but with invisible threads of reliance. The more they depend on you, the more your presence becomes essential, and the idea of betraying you becomes suicidal.